ladies and gentlemen, and a very, very warm welcome to all our delightful guests.
The Digital India Conclave's national event was a gathering of the best minds from across states with one common objective:
digitization,
to celebrate and discuss the role digital technology can play in empowering more than 1 billion people.
Medical services and hospitals consists of basically two parts.
India is on the precipice of a digital revolution, and the minister under whose leadership the Digital India program is being implemented was the chief guest for the event.
We are very clear, we don't want to miss the digital revolution. We want to become leaders in that.
Along with a powerful exchange of ideas between representatives from the states and the centre, the conclave also awarded the best digital innovations from across 8 states. We embarked on our digital journey 6 months ago, when the India Today Television Group and HP Inc. came together to create a forum called the Digital India Conclave. The conclave travelled to 8 states across the country, where we organised panel discussions between eminent bureaucrats and ministers from the state. Each regional conclave aimed to address the fundamental pillars of healthcare, education, security and urban development, and the integration of technology within each to ease processes for the citizens. Besides an engaging panel discussion, the Digital India Conclave also recognized the innovative work being done on ground using technology for social impact. We awarded individuals and organizations instrumental in taking technology to the last mile. At the end of our digital journey, which traversed 8 states, we found that some states outperformed others in certain sectors.
स्कूलों में हमने प्रयोग किया, जब फिजिक्स के, केमिस्ट्री के, मैथ्स के टीचर नहीं हैं, जंगल में जाते नहीं, उस सब्जेक्ट के लिए, पढ़ाई के लिए एक समान सा जिलाधीश ने ही अपने टीम बनाकर उसने एक प्रयोग किया, और उस प्रयोग में उन सब्जेक्ट के सारे कोर्स को तैयार करके वहाँ उन्होंने एक टीवी लगा दिया और बच्चों को उससे हिंदी में पढ़ाना शुरू किया, इंग्लिश में पढ़ाना शुरू किया। आज वहाँ का रिजल्ट में 16% का जंप हुआ। ये रिकॉर्ड में है, 16% स्टेट के बोर्ड एग्जाम में एक प्रयोग का। इस प्रयोग को हम 27 जिलों में कर रहे हैं।
With the state government's e-literacy project to make over 1 lakh people below poverty line digitally literate, Chhattisgarh was all set to unfold technology to maximize its educational growth.
more than 50 colleges we have given them Wi-Fi connectivity. And through there is a scheme called NMEICT. Under that scheme, more than 100 colleges have the broadband connectivity.
The use of technology in hospital administration, digitization of health records, and a system to streamline healthcare procurement were all measures that showed Gujarat's preparedness to be at the forefront in the digitization of the health sector.
So many programs of ours, everything is online. We have the whole school health program where every student from the first standard onwards, the complete health program of the child is going to be recorded. And when you go again and check it up, you start comparing it. So thousands of students from day one, when they enroll, their whole health, you can say biodata, data bank or whatever you call it, it will be filled in and done. So every citizen's data bank over the period of time, it will be fed.
All over the world, for every 4 IT professionals, one is from India. Among Indians, every 4, one is from Andhra Pradesh. That is our strength. That is our core competency.
The state of Andhra Pradesh took the lead in redefining e-governance through its innovative dashboard.
Dashboard was the idea of the Honorable Chief Minister, and what it tries to do is capture all the departments' data at a particular place. This was how it started. Then we said data cannot be static, it has to be real time. So we started capturing real time data. So now we are into what we call as real time governance.
देशवासियों का सपना है हमें स्वराज मिला लेकिन सुराज नहीं मिला। तो सुराज में बहुत बड़ी भूमिका ये आईटी उसकी भूमिका अदा कर सकती है। पुलिस विभाग में भी हम लोग ने ऑनलाइन एफआईआर की शुरुआत की है, उसमें भी काफ़ी प्रगति है।
When the Digital India Conclave travelled to Jharkhand this year, we found that though the state had made headway in all its critical sectors, it was the digitizing of its security measures that had seen remarkable growth. Use of drone cameras for anti-Naxal operations, a comprehensive web portal with an exhaustive criminal database, and imparting ICT training to its police personnel. Jharkhand progressively continues to use technology to curb crime. The Digital India Conclave culminated with a national finale in the capital city of Delhi. With the knowledge gained from our travels, we decided to bring the best practices from all the states to a common platform through representatives from those sectors from the different states in conversation with the India Today Network's top anchor, Rajdeep Sardesai.
I don't know how many of you have cash in your pocket at the moment and how many of you are turning cashless, but clearly digitization has never been a bigger buzzword than it is today. So I don't think there is a better moment to be doing a Digital India Conclave than this. And I want to start with you, Mr. Pradyumna. I want to understand what Andhra has done, particularly with the dashboard that you created in terms of e-governance.
Dashboard is basically, it tries to bring the data of all the 33 through 35 departments on a particular page. And the most important aspect of the dashboard is the data of many departments, not all departments are dynamic. That is, you almost, as you see the dashboard, you can actually find the, the statistics changing. And some of the, for example, sitting here, you can know how many lights in the state of, in the city of Visakhapatnam are on as of this moment. How many people have drawn ration from their fair price shop. What is the groundwater level in Andhra Pradesh at this point of time. It is based on placing IoT devices at field level.
One of our greatest monitoring tool, which we call eMamta, which was launched by the then Chief Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, who is Prime Minister now. I can track each and every child born in Gujarat as to what is their immunization status today. I get all 12.5 lakh children's individual immunization status. I know all 13 lakh women who conceive what is their antenatal care status. So individual service status of a person to what our hospitals have provided service. I know precisely that a hospital in any district of Gujarat, how many people came for diabetes check today, what was the diabetes found, and what is the trend which is happening in diabetes or hypertension. So it was a twin strategy to increase reach of service and to monitor it effectively to increase the quality of services.
We do not find many qualified teachers who are willing to go to Bastar, Dantewada, Sukma, which are conflict areas. So it is quite a big challenge, and we are imparting quality education in those areas through technology. We have distributed more than 1 lakh laptops and tablets to the students. And we have prepared video lectures, we have set up e-classrooms, and we are imparting very good education, and the results are also quite visible. In the last 1.5 decades, we have prepared a life cycle management of all the students. And through the Setu program. We call it a Setu program, that is student empowerment through use of technology. Through this program, we are able to track each and every student who is dropping out, who is not going to the school, which teacher is not going to the school, which teacher has today bunked, and we are able to monitor each and every teacher, their attendance, their retention, and the studies being done in the school.
Mr. Pradhan, in Jharkhand, which in many ways suffers from some of the ailments that Chhattisgarh does, again a large state, very, very difficult to traverse, and perhaps even more difficult to police.
Today, Jharkhand Police has one of the best data centers in the country among police forces, and you would be surprised that the Jharkhand government portal runs from the police data center. The PDS used to run from the police data center at a point of time. The attendance of Aadhaar, the Aadhaar-based attendance is actually authenticated in our servers. So it was difficult, but what I'm trying to tell you is that we tried to pull in resources, and then there was, I think, ultimately the deep belief that technology can be a game changer, a force multiplier. In police parlance, it would be a force multiplier. Very soon, I think we'll have one of the unique dial 100 systems, cloud-based dial 100 systems, where we will have 3,000 constables actually manning it, unlike other states like MP and all, which have got in the public-private partnership, which is good. But I think our own in-house talent will take care of it.
Given these four distinctive states, I want to ask you, Mr. Joseph, for a private sector company, how do you, in a sense, cater to the distinct challenges and needs of different states?
So what we actually saw in this journey is that clearly, IT and technology is a priority for the states, and the focus and the commitment is at the highest level. But also the level of penetration of IT is different in different states. In some states, maybe the education is at a much higher level compared to a health that is there in, say, Gujarat, or a dashboard in AP. So clearly, there is no one size that fits all. The good part is that each of the states is advanced in its own way, and we are working closely with most of the states in kind of developing and implementing some of these technological solutions actually.
An exchange of ideas from the state panelists on their unique digital integrations across sectors, we had two eminent IT experts join the discussion to get a national perspective on digital India. They gave a larger picture to India's digitization by focusing on e-governance initiatives at the national level.
The central government has not merely provided an enabling environment. The central government has actually pushed the boundaries of what IT can do in this country. And I'll name some of the game-changing initiatives that are making the kind of radical disruption that we're seeing in the states possible. First of all, I think Aadhaar was a game changer. This was a central government conceptualized and implemented program, thanks to which we have 108 crore citizens in India who have a digital identity. The second is the DBT program, the Direct Benefits Transfer. And what this is translating into is that after 70 years when Indians had to go through layers of intermediation to reach the Indian state, we now have a situation where the citizen can directly get his benefits from the central government or indeed from the state governments. So DBT is definitely the second game changer.
Dr. Karnik, you've in a sense seen this change very closely over more than a decade now. Was there a tipping point? Have we reached the tipping point, or has the tipping point already taken place and now there is a momentum which is, when it comes to digitization, which is unstoppable?
I would see this as really being at the cusp. So yes, we have moved on, but it's not, the tipping point hasn't happened. I think it's just coming. And I think we have a fantastic opportunity. And it comes because of two things. One is very much more rapid changes in technology, which we've been seeing for a decade plus, as you've said. But more importantly, in our context, what has happened is two things which are crucial. One is the states, over the last few years, have taken tremendous initiative. Every time I want to feel positive and optimistic about India, I just go to one of the states. It really changes your perspective. The other very important thing is a change in the way it's being approached within the government, in the center in particular, because the great thing about what we are seeing in the last few years, and Secretary Sundarajan just mentioned two major things. And if you look at them, you will see the interesting thing is they're cross-sectoral. The government has always worked in silos. That's been the criticism. So you have great things happening, but just in one silo. And it's fantastic to see how this thing, take the famous Jam Trinity, is possible only because you're able to cut across different departments and integrate and bring synergy.
But our chief guest today is truly...
After the panel discussion with powerful minds from the states and the centre, the chief guest for the event, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, further emphasised the government's focus points in bridging the nation's digital divide under the Digital India programme.
Very proud of you.
We missed the industrial revolution for a variety of reasons. We were under foreign subjugation. Because of license permit quota Raj, India missed the entrepreneur revolution of the 60s, 70s and 80s and 90s. Under the government of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we are very clear, we don't want to miss the digital revolution. We want to become leaders in that. That's the first thing we need to recognize. And the second is, by digital revolution, we want to bridge the digital divide between the digital haves and digital have-nots, and empower India and Indians to the power of technology for a better India. And I always say digital India is more for the poor, for the underprivileged, for the marginalized. And I have said earlier, and let me repeat on India Today channel, I'll be the happiest man if a vendor, a mithai wala, a pan wala, a mason, an electrician, a rickshaw wala start seeking better business opportunity powered by the new technology. That's what Digital India is about. I'm very happy that India Today chose to recognize their worth, chose to reward them, keep it up, and those who are rewarding. Technology is a bigger incluser. I always say it breaks barriers. And this phone in the hand is a sign of empowerment that I can do. I'm happy that today's event is a part of that.
Practically every state in the country.
Taking all the best practices and learnings from the different states, a white paper presentation to the Union Minister for IT marked the end of a 6-month-long fruitful series of discussions across states. The white paper, which was presented by India Today Group's CEO Ashish Bagga and HP Inc.'s Managing Director Rajiv Srivastav, marked the contribution of the Digital India Conclave in catalyzing India's transformation into a digitally empowered knowledge economy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the special section of the evening. Let's head straight to the National Digital Trailblazer Awards.
Next week, we will award our top 8 national trailblazers from each state for their unique innovations in using technology for the larger good.